Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks. How could you attend these freak-offs and you knew that these kids were underage? See, I'm concerned with the adults that was at these parties who, were given, those intoxicating substances against their will. But they had a choice to be at that party. These kids taken from CPS and foster homes, put in these parties, kids that wouldn't nobody miss, served as hors d'oeuvres at these freak-offs. But Tyra Banks, you a model. But we know you've been passed around in the modeling world, to get where you got. But Tyra, how could you not look out for the kids?
I'm talking about the victims that are still going through this right now with other people who are running to cover their and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey. Why are you running?
I haven't heard anything from anyone. The people that are most upset will be my mother and
Allison Carter, the woman who blew the lid off those absolutely shocking claims about Diddy's notorious parties, has just released some deeply troubling footage that puts Tyra Banks in the spotlight. And let me tell you, Tyra is not having it. She has officially fired back, and this drama is getting messier by the minute. But here's what's really got everyone's tongues wagging: Tyra's connection to this whole scandal. We're talking years of ties to Diddy and some seriously unsettling allegations that are coming back to haunt her. Trust me, you'll want to buckle up for this tea because we're about to spill every single jaw-dropping detail. So rewind to 2021, when Allison Carter started dropping these absolutely shocking revelations about Diddy's infamous private gatherings. What she described was absolutely horrifying. Young individuals allegedly restrained on tables, and these events supposedly turned into some sort of bidding situation for celebrities. I can't even...
Diddy parties. Those are assault parties. And I was one of the kids that was one of the party favors. And a party favors means that you're set on top of a table and you're used as a toy for anybody who comes across the table or who wants to party at a certain time of night when the music stops.
And honey, this is where things get even more wild. With all eyes on her, Allison is coming in hot with a whole list of celebrity names she claims were at these disturbing gatherings. We're talking major stars here: Steve Harvey, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, and the list just keeps going.
I'm talking about the victims that are still going through this right now with other people who are running to cover their and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey. Why are you running?
But wait, there's more. Allison just dropped another shocking revelation that sent shockwaves through social media. She's claiming there are still others experiencing similar situations, even with Diddy behind bars. It's absolutely chilling, but right now, all eyes are on Miss Tyra Banks. And let me spill this piping hot tea about why. The streets are buzzing with whispers about Tyra's potential involvement in Diddy's situation, and there's actually a pretty compelling reason. Their relationship goes way back to the early 90s. We're talking decades of friendship, business deals, and some seriously iconic public moments together. Remember that absolutely over-the-top moment when Diddy appeared on the Tyra Banks show? Darling, it was extra with a capital E. He arrived in a helicopter, yes, a whole helicopter, with a red carpet waiting, butlers everywhere, and screaming fans going absolutely wild. And Tyra, not to be outdone, gifted him this ultra-luxe double stroller for his twin daughters, complete with speakers and phone attachments. The extravagance. And honey, Tyra clearly had the golden ticket to Diddy's inner circle because she was front and center at his fabulous 50th birthday extravaganza. We're talking A-list central with Drake, Swizz Beatz, Nelly, Doug E. Fresh, and The Weeknd all under one roof. But now, people are looking at these lavish moments with very different eyes. The internet is coming for Tyra, and they're not holding back. They're drawing these wild parallels between her past behavior and Diddy's, saying they both give off this intense, power-hungry energy. And let's talk about America's Next Top Model, because that is where things get really interesting. You see, Tyra wasn't just the face of ANTM, she was the everything. The boss, the brain, the whole operation. But with great power comes great responsibility, and oh my goodness, there are some serious questions that need answering. Let's dive into this mess. starting with that absolutely shocking racial controversy that still has people absolutely furious. Picture this. Cycle 13, 2009. The models were told to do this biracial photo shoot. They had these girls wearing heavy makeup to portray different ethnicities, and some of it was straight up problematic. The episode was called "The Race Is On, Show Your True Colors." The fact that Tyra, as a black woman, signed off on this is just, I can't. But wait, it gets even more dramatic. Jay Manuel, the show's creative director, later spilled all the tea. He basically pointed fingers at Tyra and co-producer Ken Mock, saying they were the ones calling all the shots. Jay claims he was super uncomfortable with the whole thing, but was told he had to make it happen.
Specifically in Cycle 4, the whole race swapping shoot, I was very uncomfortable. My parents grew up in South Africa. They're from South Africa. Under apartheid. So you've got to understand the kind of the family I grew up in. I'm biracial. It just was very uncomfortable. And my reason I only bring up my own ethnicity is because most people think I'm like Brazilian or Spanish or this or that. And my whole life it's been a struggle because, I tell people I grew up identifying as Black, and then, you get some Black people saying, well, you're not Black enough, or like, oh, you're not Black. And then Spanish people, you're not Spanish. So it's like you receive all of this kind of just negativity. And
And darling, the drama doesn't stop there. Poor Casey had to do this absolutely horrifying photo shoot challenge right after learning that her dear friend had passed away from substance issues. It was beyond inappropriate.
Kaylin is not having too much fun.
Casey was absolutely devastated during the shoot, and who wouldn't be? They had her pretending to be 6 feet under like it was some edgy fashion moment. But the worst part? They had the audacity to criticize her for being emotional. People were absolutely livid, calling out the show for glorifying harmful situations against women. And if you thought that was shocking, let me tell you about Tyra's apparent standards for models, especially Black models. There was this absolutely jaw-dropping moment when she criticized a contestant for having a gap in her teeth.
So Danielle, you went to the dentist, but you refused to have your gap closed. Do you really think you can have a CoverGirl contract with a gap in your mouth?
Yeah, why not?
This is all people see. Easy Reads Beautiful CoverGirl. It's not marketable.
Yeah, just a little bit is okay, but I don't want to completely close it.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for another girl, baby.
I agree.
Well, Fenty beauty sensation Slick Woods was not having it. She took to Instagram to share that clip and wrote something that had everyone gasping, "No one should ever talk to you like that, Danny Evans. That episode messed up Little Simone Slick, so that's how y'all feel, Tyra Banks." Even Danny Evans herself spoke up about it, saying, "Want to reiterate what Tyra Banks said? I look at some of those moments and cringe. Just a FYI, the entire creative team made the choices in those shows, not just Tyra. So please feel free to yell at me for some of the worst moments in America's Next Top Model history. Apologies to all." But here's the thing that had everyone absolutely floored. When another model named Chelsea appeared in season 15, Tyra told her the complete opposite. The hypocrisy of it all. And just when you thought it couldn't get more scandalous, let's rewind to April 2022. Former contestants started revealing absolutely shocking stories about their time on the show. According to an insider report, Tyra allegedly used contestants' personal traumas to create dramatic television moments. The working conditions? Reportedly so toxic, they were downright dangerous. Remember when Tyra said these absolutely devastating words to a contestant? In the real world, you're a thin girl, but the fashion industry is so extreme. I would love to change the rules, but until that happens, I think it's all about choices. If you don't fit the clothes, you don't work. But the story that truly breaks my heart is about Angelea Preston. This poor soul appeared on the show 3 times, 2009, 2010, and as an all-star in 2011. Her story about losing her baby daughter touched everyone's hearts, which is why producers brought her back for Cycle 12 in 2010. When Preston didn't make the finale, she headed to New York City, dreaming of those high-fashion opportunities that seemed so promised. But darling, life had other plans. With no modeling jobs materializing, she ended up in a relationship with someone who pushed her into absolutely horrible situations. It's just devastating. When things spiraled out of control, her friends, including Krista White, who won Cycle 14, desperately reached out to everyone connected to the show, including Tyra herself. But would you believe not a single person stepped up to help? It's like they just abandoned her. People are saying Tyra essentially set her up for failure, and when the backlash hit, Tyra deleted her entire Twitter account. Talk about leaving everyone with questions. Now, with Allison Carter's allegations making waves again, people are connecting dots they never saw before. Everything about Tyra is under a microscope, and it's not looking good. But wait until you hear this. When all these America's Next Top Model moments started resurfacing a while back, Tyra finally broke her silence. Here's what she said, and trust me, it's something. Been seeing the posts about the insensitivity of some past ANTM moments, and I agree with you. Looking back, those were some really off choices. Appreciate your honest feedback, and I'm sending you so much love and virtual hugs. But honey, that apology fell flatter than last season's platform shoes. Looking at everything we know now, people are saying Tyra isn't as innocent as she'd like us to believe. And if what they're saying about her attending those parties is true, well, it means Allison Carter was telling the truth all along.
They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there. But we're still not talking about the kids yet. When are we gonna talk about the kids? Everybody's demanding something from the victims. Why aren't you demanding it from the news? You know he's about to turn into another Epstein, and then the list follows and it circles back into a web. So why isn't anybody demanding any information on the kids? Huh?
Where'd that supply chain come from?
Do you think that thousands of bottles worth of baby oil was for thousands of who? $65,000 worth of hot dogs and pizza was for who? Over the border was for who? Child Protective Services is your supplier. Is anybody gonna talk about that?
You have to give it to Allison Carter. She's out here exposing the truth like her life depends on it, and people are finally starting to pay attention. This story is far from over, and Tyra Banks has some serious explaining to do. But what do you think? Was Tyra really involved in those private gatherings? Will her name come up during the trial? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our other videos for more juicy celebrity drama.